In Bitcoin, there's a term called hash rate, but I have to be honest, I have no idea what it even means, and I am on a Bitcoin podcast. So today, Stewart's going to be teaching me everything he knows about hash rate. Welcome to another episode of Satchats Short Stacks. I'll be your host, Chris, founder and CEO of Ithaca Hummus and resident Smash buyer.
I'll be your co-host, Stewart. Bitcoin Maxi. What is hash rate? Is hash legal in America? Is hash rate legal in America?
Hashisha? Shisha?
Hashish rate?
Hashisha?
Well, like when we talk about hash rate, like isn't Bitcoin for criminals and drug people? Like, what are you talking about hash rate? You know?
I know it does. It's like hash, like
we
potato hash.
We knew the Bitcoiners were drug heads.
Yeah,
a bunch of degenerate criminals.
Yeah,
laundering money and doing hash together.
Yeah,
come on, y'all.
Yeah.
So hash rate is well, I guess let's talk about hashing for a second.
Okay.
That's a computer process.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it. There you go. Don't got to go much deeper than that.
Well, what is it to hash on a computer?
Well, it basically means to take a piece of information down like a one-way encrypted street that creates an output that is secure and hashed. It's like you've taken the information like a potato and like chopped it all up into smaller bits and then cooked it on the grill and made yourself a little breakfast hash.
Wait a second. So is it like taking a file and compressing it in an encrypted way? You're compressing it and you're encrypting it. Is that right?
I don't know if you're compressing it. You're just kind of reformulating it in a way that cannot be reverse engineered.
Okay, so let's say
like a compressed file could kind of like be decompressed later.
Yeah.
This is like taking it and like sending it through a narrowing funnel, and then it gets spit out as something on this side that can't come back through. Like a fish going through those nets underwater, you know, or like they go through that cone and then they get into the cage and they can't swim back out.
Yeah.
So that's what hashing is. And you might remember when we were talking about what is mining, in Bitcoin, we hash because what we do is we take the blocks information, the transactions, the times, the amounts, and then we add one number and we put it through a hashing process where we encrypt that information. And when you do so, it spits out a unique string of information that Freddie, I think who's number 26, talked about. Like, it's like taking information you can cut, copy, paste and transforming it into a fingerprint that is not reproducible.
Okay.
And you're hashing in order to try to solve the block. So Simple Steve talks about how the block of transactions is like a great big Sudoku puzzle in the sky. And you're trying to figure out where the transactions fit in the Sudoku block. Does this one go here? No, I already have a 1 here. So I got to have a 6 here. And when you figure out the puzzle, you solve the block, you add it to the blockchain, and Bitcoin rewards you with Bitcoin. So hashing is the thing that miners do to try to solve the block. And really, for a beginner, that's all you need to know. Hashing is what they do to try to solve the block. Now, hash rate is how many times you can make that attempt in a second. 1 second. So I tried learning about hash rate by studying my own Bitaxe miner. Now, my Bitaxe in the world of mining is like Oliver's scooter. It's dinky. I mean, it is like it's like a daggum like one of them like Hot Wheels like Hummers that like a kid gets into and like hits the gas pedal. It's like, you know what I'm talking about?
It's probably more like one of those horses that you get on and you have to like sink down and like shift your weight, and then if you go long enough, it starts putzing along.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if a professional miner is like an F1, you know, and you getting maybe 6 to 8 ASICs and putting them in your garage is like a souped up Subaru WRX. Like I'm like an electric scooter. But I wanted to learn about hash rate through my Bitaxe. And here's what I found. My Bitaxe, it's kind of like, but every once in a while I was like, that's when it's making more attempts per second. My Bitaxe operates between like 500 and 800 gigahash, which my understanding means it's making 500 to 800 billion guesses per second. And when you get up into miners that can do a terahash, that's like 1 trillion guesses per second. And when you think about the entire Bitcoin network, the hash rate for the entire Bitcoin network is like a zillion schmillion guesses per second. Okay. And what that means is these computers are basically just making guesses at the solution for the block. And how quickly they can make guesses is their hash rate.
Okay.
So if you're interested in like getting started with Bitcoin mining and you're looking at, you're doing what I did where you just buy like a Bitaxe for $200, when it's talking about the hash rate, it's talking about the horsepower of the miner. And it'll be a long time before you graduate to other areas, but it's also important to understand hash rate as a indicator of how secure Bitcoin is. So we've talked about this in the past as well, where the more computers that come online to try to solve the puzzle, the more secure Bitcoin gets. Because you have all these computers that are trying to do the right thing. And if you want to do the wrong thing, you would need at least half of that entire share for yourself to convince people that the wrong thing is happening. So when you look at the amount of hash rate that there is, again, my little Bitaxe has gigahash. And my understanding is billions of guesses per second. Bigger miners have terahash, trillions of guesses per second. What? And I hope I'm right. Otherwise, these comments are going to be like, another Bitcoin versus EMP, another why did Satoshi choose 21 million? All right, we're just doing our best in here.
All the terachads out there.
Yeah. But then like exahash, like the total amount of hash rate is exahash. What is that? That's not trillions. Is that quadrillions? Is that quintillions?
Septillion?
Is that a schmillion? How many guesses? I would love to be able to understand truly how many guesses per second is the entire network of miners producing.
Somebody who's watching this, figure it out, throw it in the chat. We'll send you a little magnet.
I like that. So what is hash rate? It is the rate at which you hash, which basically means how many guesses per second is your computer doing when it's trying to solve the block. Because again, the block is so hard to solve that nobody knows the answer. You just guess. And this is also interesting because the difficulty adjustment of Bitcoin means that at the beginning, maybe billions of guesses was a lot per second. And now we're at a place where trillions, quadrillions per second are not a lot. It's a very secure network. So hopefully that's a good introduction to hash rate. Introduction to hash rate. And, Chris and I think we want to learn more and be able to articulate that even better. But at the absolute rock bottom level, it's just how many guesses is my computer making?
There you go. That's a hash. That's hash rate.
And it's legal in America.
Oh, yeah, it is legal in North Carolina. If let us know what you thought. Let us know what you thought about that explanation. Is it more clear to you now? Do you have more questions? If you do, we'd love to hear them, and we will, on your behalf, do the work to get the answers to them for you.
Mm-hmm.
This has been another episode of Sat Chats Short Stacks. Thank you for joining us. And remember, Sat Chats is for educational purposes only and should not be construed for financial advice. Thank you.